Good afternoon, all. CombackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, March 20th. We're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and NQ. So the market spends good part of the day prior to the Fed back and forth through the base of the price spike in ES. Never touched a single print from yesterday. And then we go and explode come 2 o'clock for the last 2 hours of the trading day. We got with another trend day. We made an all-time high, and now we're making an all-time high here in the maintenance session. Now, a lot of people don't use the maintenance session. Well, if N or O ends up being the all-time high in ES, I'm using it. Same in SPY. So that's why I think, to me, it's very important not to ignore that. NQ is making new all-time highs. However, they're still in that balance. They never came close to their back-adjusted all-time high. So the S&P is up in all three time frames. The NQ is still balanced to me on the weekly and daily. Okay? They're up on the monthly. Righty came back into balance on the daily, and I'm using today's high as my balance high. And yesterday's low is the balance low now. I did not do anything. I didn't do anything after H period. Had a good day. Now, I was telling the room, look, when J period starts knee-jerking all over the place, you don't know what it's really doing yet. We don't know if we're going trend. And even the beginning of K, it attempted to go trend, they took it back. However, after K got back up above B and C's high, basically the market spiked. So that's the price spike from B and C's high for us and A's high in NQ. And the same thing with Righty, D and E's high. Now, Righty did not hold a trend day. And they took back two of their single prints from yesterday, but held one set. ES and NQ not only held all their sets from yesterday, they go out with another set today, double distribution day. But at this point, you didn't really know. Now, the only two trades I told the room I would have looked at is an L period. When it pulled back, you could have bought 71.50 and used a J high as your out. And again, an M period, you could have bought around 74.50 and used L's low as your out. And you would have got paid on those. Other than that, I had no interest in it, and I didn't do those. But those would have been decent risk-reward trades at that time because the market had shown it wanted to go trend and hold it. Excuse me. The range was good. The range is our ninth largest of the year, but the volume is only 65 million right now. The volume was absolutely horrendous prior to 2 o'clock. So we're not going to even do average, which is 75.5 million. So here we are at an all-time high, and again, volume isn't that great. But we just broke out of a 10-day balance, and we came out of an inside week on SPY, which is still 11 weeks. 11 weeks. One time framing up in the SPY, and 20 out of 21. Just amazing. What I did do early today, I took a long in NQ in A period. First time against the 144 simple moving average. I missed the long to get the overnight high. I just missed it. I tried to get it, didn't get it. But once we got that, we had higher value, and they had a gap. Took a long against the 144, and it worked out. Then I took a long against the gap fill, and I lost 10 points on it, as they did not hold their gap. ES did not gap higher. So I was down a little bit after A period. But in B period, I was long when it couldn't take out A's low, started going back to the 144. I said, I'm going to take a long. I think it should have a good odds of at least testing up to that level, and it did. I also got long in ES in B period to get the overnight high. Once we started one time framing up and didn't get the overnight low, and that worked out. And then NQ is having problems. I shorted C period against the 144 and B's high. I shorted D period, the same thing. The ebb and flow short was working for me, even though their value was still overlapping a higher, and they had the overnight high. They couldn't get to the opening. They were having trouble. So that's why I was kind of comfortable shorting it at that point. But they never got their IB low until late when we got it in ES and I period. This is before the Fed. They both took out the IB low in I period, barely. Now, if the Fed wasn't coming out with their announcement in like 5 or 10 minutes, that to me that would have been a good fade the way this market was trading. But I didn't do it. Would have worked, that's for sure. We did get both overnights and both IBs in ES today. And Q, you got both IBs, but only the overnight high. And then my last trade, which turned out to be a nice one, was a short in H in NQ. So I thought at that time that could be an afternoon rally high, which it turned out to be at that time as we rolled over, and that's when we made a new low on the day. So good day overall. Again, like I said, not upset at all that I didn't take any trades late in the day. I trade for a living. I'm not a gambler. I'm a trader. If I miss 2 hours of trading with the Fed stuff, I don't have a problem with that. The bigger problem I would have is to get cut up. But again, there were decent opportunities for longs, especially in L&M, because you had better MGI at that point. J and K was still all over the place. As far as destinations go, 520.62 was SPY's all-time high. Okay, they're trading higher now in the after hours, as you can see. So they'll have a new all-time high in the overnight. As far as downside, we have single prints, 518.83 to 40. Our price spike, which is B and C's high in ES and SPY, 516.44. 10 wide at 515.94. And today's low of 515.08. ES, our all-time high is, no idea. 89.50. 89.50. And then whatever we're printing right now. So right now you're printing up at 95.75. Yep. In end period. So we'll see what the overnight all-time high is going to be. For our downside, we have single prints that get filled at 67. We have our price spike at 47.75. We have 10 wide. I'm in bigger increments now, and I didn't update it. It's 10 wide at 42.25. And today's low is 33. Now, one other thing to keep in mind, even though we raised POC a little bit to get 10 wide on this price spike, we couldn't raise it anymore. A lot of times those are things at some point you're going to go back and revisit, right? They can never even raise POC again, even though they spiked a tremendous amount from B and C's high. And then, now remember, look at NQ. 691 and change is their back adjusted all-time high. So they're still a ways away from it, but the way this market is acting, something tells me we're going to go get those at some point. Okay? They have a new overnight all-time high. So again, same with ES. That gives you good targets to shoot for when they keep making higher highs in all-time highs in the overnight. And then on the chart, so the monthly chugging along, one time framing up for 5 months, very healthy in ES. Why are people trying to short this market? I don't know. Weekly, 11 weeks in a row for SPY, coming out of an inside week to the upside, which doesn't stop the one-time framing, and 20 out of 21 weeks up on the one-time framing. Just, it's just amazing. So still up. And the daily just broke out of a 10-day balance, which we talked about yesterday, to the upside. Now, I also said a lot of times you don't know until maybe Thursday morning once the market digests everything. Now, that still holds true. As impressive as this was, we want continuation tomorrow. If you take back the trend day, and especially the price spike, that's the real important one. In fact, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to the profile real quick. Because as impressive as this is, if you take back the trend day and fail at the price spike, yes, the market's still up, but they gave back a lot, right? So it took a long time to come out of this balance. You don't want to give it all back, say, in a day or two and take out a daily low and come right back into balance. So you want follow through. More importantly, you want follow through with volume, right? You need other time frame players to come in and support this move. Otherwise, at some point, when they do take it back, they'll take today back, they'll take yesterday back in very, very easy fashion. So that's the Bulls' next goal, is to get longer-term buyers interested in joining the party. I hope you had a good day trading. We kept our room very safe. We had a good day. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.